All right, jumping back in here. I got a reading for you here today from the Course in Miracles, building on the last video that I did, which was on littleness versus magnitude. Basically, translation: ego versus God. And then, I just want to. This next lesson, it's not the lesson. It's part of the text actually. I'm kind of switching things up here and doing some different stuff here for a little bit. Really getting a lot out of the text, so I wanted to bring that to the channel. So the next one kind of builds on it, and it's practicing the holy instant. Wanted to try to do it outside today. It's an absolutely gorgeous day. Sun's beaming behind me, as you can see. Trying to incorporate all the different things that, I find, keep me my healthiest, which is getting outside, staying connected to nature, staying connected to the creation and what is, and, having, one thing that's really benefited me a lot is getting my bare feet connected to the earth, earthing, grounding, whatever people call it. There's a lot of research, a lot of stuff supporting that, and I don't even need anything to support it because I experience it, and that's the number one thing that that's the number one thing you'll learn from, no doubt. All the stuff outside, this book, this course, and all the things outside are learning tools. They're part of the experience, but your own life experience and everything is really going to determine. And that's why you just have to develop that trust with the Creator and yourself, and move forward. Believing in yourself and believing in who you are and what you were created and here to do. So, without going on any further, I want to jump right into this because the last video got longer than I wanted it to. So, I'm going to get into the reading. It's about 2 pages. There's about 9 paragraphs. So, I want to get moving. This is some pretty powerful stuff. So, like I said, it's chapter 15, the same rate moving on from the last video. I might just go in order here for a little bit. I don't know. Section 4, chapter 15, practicing the holy instant. This course is not beyond immediate learning unless you believe that what God wills takes time. And this means only that you would rather delay the recognition that His will is so. The holy instant is this instant and every instant. So, these first couple of sentences are just saying you can choose this anytime you want. You can choose to be connected to holiness, God, Holy Spirit, Christ, light, love, anytime you want to. It's your choice. We have some pretty simplified choices to make each day. And that's what I'm practicing so hard these days, is to be in the holy instant, really. That's not how I used to view it before I read this. That's how this course and reading this material can change and open you up to so many new ways of thinking. And it's amazing. So, the one you want it to be, it is. The one you want, let me read that again. The one you want it to be, it is. The one you would not have it be is lost to you. So there you go. You have a choice each moment. If you don't choose God, if you don't choose higher self, if you don't choose the holy instant, you lost out on that opportunity, but it's always there. It's always there. You must decide when it is, delay it not. For beyond the past and future, where you will not find it, it stands in shimmering readiness for your acceptance. Yet you cannot bring it into glad awareness while you do not want it, for it holds the whole release from littleness. So it connects back to that last video I did with littleness versus magnitude. Paragraph 2. Your practice must therefore rest upon your willingness to let all littleness go. The instant in which magnitude dawns upon you is but as far away as your desire for it. As long as you desire it not and cherish littleness instead, by so much it is far from you. By so much is it far from you. By so much as you want it, it will bring you nearer. So the more you practice the holy instant, the more you practice your faith in God, the more you practice your faith in the Creator, and you just kind of, you're practicing that magnitude, that abundance. You're getting away from littleness. You're getting away from the ego. You're not allowing that into your space anymore. Think not that you cannot find salvation in your own way and have it. Give over every plan you have made for your salvation in exchange for God's. His will content you, and nothing else can bring you peace. For peace is of God and no one beside him. Paragraph 3, be humble before him, and yet great in him. Ooh, that's a powerful little sentence, isn't it? Be humble. Be humble before him. Anytime, any place, right now, anytime, any holy instant. You don't have to be at church on Sunday, all that nonsense. I'm not saying it's all nonsense. I'm just saying you can do it anytime. This was a big kind of thing I have with, I don't really have, it's not for me. You know, it's like, you can do this anywhere. Church is everywhere. You know, spirituality is everywhere, anywhere, all the time. It's not a religion. It encompasses that, but it's not, I don't even need to get into all this. I'm just kind of giving you some of where I'm at and how I view things and where, you know, what my perspective is currently, because it's always changing, always growing, and always evolving. Be humble before him and yet great in him. So you're in him. You're before him and in him. And value no plan of the ego before the plan of God. For you leave empty your place in his plan. Anytime you're playing little and playing in the ego, you're not in the plan, the great plan, why you're here, in your purpose. No wonder your life's not lining up. No wonder you act like you're happy at times when, you know you're really not. You know, I mean, if we get real, come on. You know, I had a discussion with a friend of mine about this, and I don't want to get too deep into it, but, you know, it was kind of a deep convo we were having. It was really good. And it was like, you know, it made me realize, I was there at one point in time in my life where I was unconsciously happy, right? Drinking and doing all that, laughing and partying when none of it was getting me anywhere. I was in the ego the whole time. None of it was it was a dead end road, right? Until I started getting into real stuff, like courses like this, and there was lots of steps along the way for me. I was just delaying the inevitable. I was just kicking the can down the road. So, anyway, for you leave empty your place in his plan, which you must fill if you would join with me by your decision to join in any plan but his. I call you to fulfill your holy part in the plan that he has given to the world for its release from littleness. God would have his host abide in perfect freedom. Every allegiance to a plan of salvation apart from him diminishes the value of his will for you in your own mind. So every time, let me finish the paragraph. And yet it is your mind that is host to him. I'm just I can't really see the screen very well. So I'm hoping that we're still recording and everything. So yeah, like every time you are, not aligning yourself with God, you're aligning yourself with something else. What is that something else? It's littleness, it's ego. So, you know, and your mind is always, your consciousness and mind is always connected to this, always. Be very, very, diligent. I was going to say careful, but like just about where you place your mind, what you watch, what you take in through your eyes and ears. And I think I've talked about this before in videos. It's showing up. It's so clear. It gets clearer and clearer by the day for me of how everything works in this world right now. As far as I won't get into that right now, but, paragraph 4. Would you learn how perfect and immaculate is the holy altar on which your Father has placed himself? This you will recognize in the holy instant, in which you willingly and gladly give over every plan but his, right? So every plan you had, everything you create on your own, give it over to him. Give it over to the Creator. And what I found in my life is miraculous things happen. Like you just will be blown away at times. It'll be tough and challenging at times. You won't understand. You'll get confused and you can get frustrated and all this stuff. But if you just keep coming back to this, you know, it's just amazing. For there lies peace perfectly clear because you have been willing to meet its conditions. You can claim the holy instant anytime and anywhere you want it. In your practice, try to give over every plan you've accepted for finding magnitude in littleness. It is not there. Use the holy instant only to recognize that you alone cannot know where it is and can only deceive yourself. So without this connection, without you developing this, without you, you know, really diving into this relationship that you have with the Creator, you really don't have much. I mean, there's a lot to dive into there, but like, I'll just leave it there for now because the next, I've read ahead of this already. Like, this was something I read a few days ago. So I'm just coming back to it to kind of make the rest of what I want to share later on make sense. But it'll go on and explain some of this. So we'll get into that, you know, in days to come. Which that just reminded me, I used to kind of say, hey, this is what I want to do in the next video at the end of the videos, which was, I got some feedback that said that was helpful. So anyway, paragraph 5. Wait, hold on, let me finish. I think I stopped. You know, in your practice, try to give over every plan you've accepted for finding magnitude and littleness. It's not there. Use the holy instant only to recognize that you alone cannot know where it is and can only deceive yourself. Paragraph 5. I stand within the holy instant, as clear as you would have me, and the extent to which you learn to accept me is the measure of the time in which the holy instant will be yours. I call to you to make the holy instant yours at once, for the release from littleness in the mind of the host of God depends on willingness and not on time. So, like, I've found that out a lot too, man. The more willing I am, the more I get, the more I move forward. It's not always going to be pleasant, so get ready for that as well. And to wake up to these things, right? These ways you've been living your life, your whole life, and there's a lot of propaganda out there. There's a lot of lies. There's a lot of manipulation happening in the world. For people sell their souls. People, you know, think money's more important than other people's. I mean, it's really showing up, you know, other people's wellness or livelihood, right? There's people out there that are so much in the ego and so much in fear that they will do that, you know, and that's why I'm practicing so hard to be on the opposite side of that, to show up in the world and be an example of what I believe the Creator and God and Holy Spirit, Christ, the holy instant is. I want that holy instant to be me, you know. So anyway, let's move on here. And then time, yeah, I mean, when you're in this, when I'm doing stuff like this, time disappears, you know. When you're doing something you love, I heard this the other day, I watched something, and I'll share this real quick. If you're unsure, if you're in life and you're like, I don't know, man, and I know this can be really challenging because money's a big thing. You know, money's like this thing that, you know, we need while we're in the body, living here and everything to kind of navigate this world and live the way we want to. And, you know, I was watching this thing, it was Alan Watts, and he did this video on like how he would teach his students to decide what they want to do with their lives. And it was he asked them a question, what would you do if money was no object? And I know you could say, wow, that's easy. I love this. Well, that's what you need to go do. And you know what? Once you do that, and once you step out onto that step that isn't there yet, the universe will rise to support you. God will rise to support you when you're stepping into your true function and purpose here. You know, I've been practicing the last few years of my life this way. And I tell you what, it's been extremely challenging at times. But I'm continuing to go. I'm still here. I'm still surviving. I'm still finding a way. So anyway, I don't know. That kind of made me think of that, so I shared that. But I better move on here. I don't know where we're at. 13 some minutes. It's all good though. You know, I kind of put this pressure on myself and, you know, to be like, oh, I don't want to go too long because nobody will want to watch that long of a video. But you know what? This material is so profound and so whatever. The right people will find this and the right people will watch this. And that's all that matters. And I just keep going. Paragraph 6. The reason this course is simple is that truth is simple. It is very simple. We complicate it. That's not in the reading. That's me. So next sentence. Complexity is of the ego. It's funny how I will say things and in the next sentence it kind of goes in and says that. And it's nothing more than the ego's attempt to obscure the obvious. You could live forever in the holy instant, beginning now and reaching to eternity, but for a very simple reason. Do not obscure the simplicity of this reason, for if you do, it will be only because you prefer not to recognize it and to let it go. The simple reason, simply stated, is this. The holy instant is a time in which you receive and give perfect communication. This means, however, that it is a time in which your mind is open, both to receive and give. It is a recognition that all minds are in communication. There's that kind of, we're always interconnected. Our consciousness and minds are always interconnected. This thing works, this human experience works in ways that we've never been taught. We're still learning, and I tell you, the future is bright for humanity if we can get through this time of chaos. It therefore seeks to change nothing, but merely to accept everything. Paragraph 7. How can you do this when you would prefer to have private thoughts and keep them? Here's the thing where if you have all these thoughts and you're not sharing them, like, even if they're like not really, if you judge them as not being pleasant, you have to get them out of you. You have to share them with somebody, right? That somebody could be God. That somebody could be a friend or a soul brother or a soul family member of some point. That doesn't have to be your family you were born into. It could be a soul family you've created that I'm in the middle of creating in my life. You know, it's small, knit group of people that I know that I can share anything with. Very necessary, I think, for your growth. But you're never alone. You always have that connection to the Creator, God, love, the Holy Instant, Holy Spirit, Christ. It's all there for you all the time. You're never alone. The only way you could do that would be to deny the perfect communication that makes the Holy Instant what it is. You believe you can harbor thoughts you would not share, and that salvation lies in keeping thoughts to yourself alone. That's why I'm doing a lot of these videos. I just got to the point where I'm like, I have to start sharing. Whether it does, I don't want to say I don't care, but in a way, I don't really care who tunes into this. I want people to tune in and get as much as they can out of this. But that's not all of why I'm doing this. I'm doing this where it's set up here. I'm doing this to both give and receive. Both. Right? I'm trying to be the Holy Instant in these videos, and I feel like I'm the Holy Instant in these videos. You know, I told you, time seems to not allow to just fly. I'm doing something I love. I'm doing something I found to be my purpose or function here. That can change and evolve or whatever, but right now it feels great. For in private thoughts, known only to yourself, you think you find a way to keep what you would have alone and share what you would share. Let me read that again. For in private thoughts, known only to yourself, you think you would find a way to keep what you would have alone and share what you would share. And then you wonder why it is that you are not in full communication with those around you and with God who surrounds all of you together. So, like, you harboring stuff and you not sharing stuff and not being open. I've struggled with this immensely in relationships in my life, stuff in my own family, that it's really been difficult for me to connect with people that don't do that. They don't share with you. They don't get open with you. They don't, how can you connect without that? So, this is powerful. That's a powerful little statement right there. And then you wonder why it is that you're not in full communication with those around you and with God who surrounds all of you together. Every thought you would keep hidden shuts communication off because you would have it so. You're choosing this, right? When we do this, I never say, always remember when I say you, I mean you and me. And I mean humanity. Oh, my pages are blowing here. And I mean humanity. I'm not ever pointing a finger. I'm in this with you, right with you. It is impossible to recognize perfect communication while breaking communication holds value to you, right? You can't have perfect communication. You can't be in the Holy Instant if you're not holding up your end. If you're not, I used to say, if you're not clearing off your side of the street, you screw up, you own it. You go and you make amends and you share things openly. Well, it could be something that you judge not to be great or whatever, or it could also be something magnificent. Another conversation I was having with a friend about sharing the love, sharing the awesomeness that you see in people as well. Don't hold back. People love to hear that. That will help them live a better life. I'm working on that. Ask yourself honestly, would I want to have perfect communication? And am I wholly willing to let everything that interferes with it go forever? These are the commitments that we need to make. If the answer is no, then the Holy Spirit's readiness to give it to you is not enough to make it yours, for you are not ready to share it with Him. And it cannot come into a mind that has decided to oppose it. So as long as you're opposing this, lack of communication, holding things to yourself, being egoic, staying little, you won't get all the gifts that are yours. They're already yours. They're just waiting for you to open up and do the things, and you know what they are. I have a feeling there's times in life where I really can look back and I can say, okay, I get it. I was really unconscious at times in life. But I know that the people that'll find these videos and watch these, they know what they need to do. They're just on the fence. They're still playing small. Like, we all are going through this together. Let me find my spot here. It cannot come into a mind that has decided to oppose it. For the holy instant is given and received with equal willingness, being the acceptance of the single will that governs all thought. Last paragraph, 9. The necessary condition for the holy instant does not require that you have no thought that are not pure. Here you go, right here. Totally, not that you need to have permission from anything or anyone, but like, it's telling you right here, even the stuff that's doesn't feel pure. It's gotta be processed. It's gotta be let out somehow, whether that's therapy, whether that's a close friend, whether that's with God. I don't know. One thing I keep coming up for me in the moment now that I don't really know how to answer, I don't really know is it enough to just share it with God? My feeling is yes. But it may require, I may not, be totally thinking all this through right now. I'm just thinking about this in a moment. That it may require you to be open with other humans as well, in some way, shape, or form to heal it. God may be enough. The Creator may be enough. The Holy Instant may be enough. I hate to even put it that way, like it's enough. It's everything. So I guess my answer would be, yeah, like that would be enough. But you're holding back gifts, and you're holding back gifts for yourself and for others by not sharing it with people. But it does. Here we go. Let me reread. The necessary condition for the holy instant does not require that you have no thoughts that are not pure, but it does require that you have none that you would keep. Innocence is not of your making. It is given you the instant you would have it. Atonement would not be if there were no need for it. You will not be able to accept perfect communication as long as you would hide it from yourself. For what you would hide is hidden from you. So the more you hide, the more, that's how the universe works perfectly. The more you hide from yourself, the more that you're just, it's not like, oh, the God and the Holy Spirit are punishing you. You're punishing yourself. It's you making that choice. If you just work and you're willing and you do these things, you'll get the gifts. They're there waiting for you. It's unconditional love that's all around you waiting for you. Innocence is not of your making. It is given you the instant you would have it. Okay, I already read all that. You want to be able to... For what you would hide is hidden from you. I read that. In your practice, then, try only to be vigilant against deception. You seek not to protect the thoughts you would keep to yourself. Let the Holy Spirit's purity shine them away and bring all your awareness to the readiness for purity He offers you. Thus will He make you ready to acknowledge that you are host to God and hostage to no one and to nothing. Whew. Man, I tell you, I just read that the other day, reading it again, it's even more powerful. Whew. I really enjoyed sharing that. I love being out here in nature. It's just, I've been in nature so much over the past couple of years. I've reconnected, redone everything that I did as a kid. I really truly believe we can bring heaven on earth. It's all around us. It's here waiting. It's never left. We just kind of have disconnected ourselves, believed lies, believed propaganda, and went down an egoic path. We are every one of us is the miracle. And I look forward to the next video. Here, let me give you a little here. The next one will build on this. And it'll be the holy instant and special relationships. This is massive. There's massive stuff in here about the relationships that you're in. And I think I just feel like this stuff I'm sharing, it's perfect timing in the world because there's a lot of things happening and people are going to really crave this type of information. That's my intuitive thought anyway. That's what I'm tuning into, that I'm downloading, so. I'm out of here. Much love, unconditional love. I'm practicing it more and more and more and more in my life. That's all I want to show up as. And I'm sharing it because I want to share it with everyone. And as we all come together on this and live this way, that's heaven on earth. So I'm out of here for now. I can't wait to come back the next time.